Namaste, myself Dr. K.K. Chaudhary, Faculty of Education and Meteorology, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women University. Subject Animal Physiology and Endocrinology. And today we will discuss about our next topic, the oogenesis. The formation of gametes in the ovary is termed oogenesis. In contrast to spermatogenesis, which begin in males at puberty, oogenesis begin in females before they are even born. Oogenesis occurs in essentially the same manner as spermatogenesis. Meiosis takes place and the resulting germ cells undergo maturation. During early fetal development, primordial germ cells migrate from yolk sac to the ovary. There, germ cells differentiate within the ovary into oogonia. Oogonia are diploid stem cells. You can see in the diagram diploid stem cells that divide mitotically to produce millions of germ cells. Even before birth, most of these germ cells degenerate in a process known as atresia. A few, however, develop into larger called primary oocyte that enter the prophase of meiosis I during fetal development but do not complete that phase until after puberty. During this arrest stage of development, each primary oocyte is surrounded by a single layer of flat follicular cells and entire structure is called primordial follicle. The ovarian cortex surrounding the primordial follicle consists of collagen and fibroblast like stromal cells. At birth, approximately 2 lakhs to 20 lakhs primary oocytes remain in each ovary. Of these, about 40,000 are still present at puberty, and around 400 will mature and ovulate during a woman reproductive lifetime. The remainder of the primary oocyte undergoes atresia. करें कि स्टार्टिंग में 20 लाख से 2 लाख से 20 लाख तक होते, ठीक है। मैच्योरिटी तक पहुंचेंगे 40,000, उसमें से मैच्योर होंगे सिर्फ 400 के नियर अबाउट, बाकी एट्रेसिया के अंदर चले जाएंगे, डिजनरेट हो जाएंगे। A few primordial follicles start to grow, developing into the primary follicles. Each primary follicle consists of a primary oocyte that is surrounded in a later stage of development by many layers of cuboidal and low columnar cells called granulosa cells. With continuing maturation, a primary follicles develop into a secondary follicle. In the secondary follicle, theca differentiate into the two layers, theca interna and theca externa. In addition, granulosa cells begin to secrete follicular fluid, which build up in the cavity called antrum in the center of the secondary follicle. The secondary follicle eventually become larger, turning into a mature Graafian follicle. While in this follicle and just before ovulation, diploid primary oocyte complete meiosis first, producing two haploid cells of unequal size, each with 23 chromosomes. The smaller cell produced by meiosis I, called the first polar body, is essentially a packet of discarded nuclear material. The larger cell known as the secondary oocyte, receive most of the cytoplasm. Once a secondary oocyte is formed, it begins meiosis second, but then stop in metaphase. The mature follicle soon rupture and release its secondary oocyte, a process known as ovulation. At ovulation, secondary oocyte is expelled into the pelvic cavity together with first polar body. Normally, these cells are swept into the uterine tube. If fertilization doesn't occur, the cell degenerate. If sperm are present in the uterine tube and one penetrate the secondary oocytes, however, meiosis II resume. The secondary oocyte split into two haploid cells, again of unequal size. Okay? The larger cell is the ovum or mature egg, the smaller one is the second polar body. The nuclei of the sperm cell and ovum then unite, forming a diploid zygote. Thus, one primary oocyte gives rise to a single gamete. By contrast, recall that in male, one primary spermatocyte produces 4 gametes. This is all about the oogenesis process. This session is powered by Digital Session 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Hope you will satisfied with my lecture, and if you have any problem, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you very much.